Hello students, welcome to my class once again. So today I am here with part 4 of the story Indigo. So in till part 3 we have seen that Gandhiji was given an order to leave Champaran immediately by the British government. Gandhiji accepted the order, signed on it, but told them that he will not leave Champaran, he will disobey the order. And as he said, he did also, he did not leave Champaran, he continued staying over there. As a consequence, the British government sent him a summon. That summon means an order from the court, okay? An order from the court, a summon was sent to him that next day he has to appear at the court because he dared to disobey the order of the British authorities. Gandhiji was not afraid. He was ready to go to the appear at the court, but he knew that the British authorities were very angry with him. They were against him, and obviously they will take a very harsh decision against him. So in case he is given a punishment or he is imprisoned, so he must make some arrangement before going to jail. He thought if he is jailed for whatever he was doing to help the Indian farmers, so he thought before that he must make some arrangement. So what were the arrangements that he did? He telegraphed his friend Rajendra Prasad to come from Bihar with some influential people. He sent instructions to his ashram also, and he wrote a letter to the Viceroy of India. Next day, the court was at Motihari, in the town of Motihari. So Gandhiji reached Motihari and he was there at the court. Now when this news spread like a wildfire, understood? This news spread like a wildfire that a person known as Mahatma Gandhi, who has come to Champaran to help the peasants with the problem of sharecropping, has landed in trouble and has been summoned by the British authorities, and he was going to be penalized for his work. The peasants in large numbers started coming to Motihari. Only heads could be seen over there. The entire town was full of peasants. They did not even bother to take any sort of conveyance. They came on foot. But this was the victory. In one way it can be said that this was the victory of Gandhiji, that even without raising any weapon, any arms against the British authorities, he was able to unite the peasants. Okay? So the huge number of peasants, in large numbers, thousands of numbers, they gathered outside the court, and the British authorities now, they were terrified, because in front of mob, no matter how powerful a certain authority is, in front of mob they become you can say useless. They become helpless. They start feeling helpless. So the British authorities understood one thing, that it was not possible for them to control this mob. They had come to support Gandhi, to extend their support to Gandhi, and it is Gandhiji only who can control them. So the British authorities approached Mahatma Gandhi, requested him to talk with the crowd and to control them, because they were afraid that the crowd might start vandalism over there. If the crowd gets angry, they might start vandalizing. So they approached Gandhi, asked him to talk with the crowd and control him. Gandhi did it, and Gandhiji gave, when the peasants gathered outside the court in thousands and hundreds and thousands of numbers, That was a message to the British authorities that now the Indians are no more afraid of them. The poor peasants, the illiterate peasants, whom they used to subdue, whom they used to dominate, now it's not so easy for them to dominate these people, and they have learned to question, they have learned to challenge the decisions of the British authorities. They are not going to accept every decision that will be imposed on them by the British authorities. This message was clearly given to the British. The government, the British government, they were confused. They could not understand what to do, because one thing was very sure, that if any strict decision, if any strict judgment is given against Gandhiji, the mob cannot be controlled. It won't be possible for to control the crowd anymore, and the crowd could do anything, go to any extent, and would show their anger, would show their rage. So the British authorities, the British government was confused. They said that they need some time. They postponed the trial for the time being. They said they need some time to consult their superiors. Gandhiji said he was not ready for the delay. If he has been summoned, and if the British government has decided to take decision against him, to give a judgment against him, if they have found him guilty of doing a crime, then they should have the guts, they should have the courage to give their judgment as fast as possible. That was what he said. And he said that he was involved, he told the court, in the conflict of duties. What was this conflict of duties? He said that on the one hand, he did not want to set a bad example as a lawbreaker. On the other hand, he was there to help the peasants. Had he adhered to the order of the British authorities and left Champaran, then who would have taken care of the peasants, of the farmers whom he had promised to give justice? So if because of this conflict of duties, the government finds him to be guilty of anything, then they are free to take their decision. And he said that he had answered to the higher law of our being, that is the voice of conscience. His conscience told him to disobey the order and stay by the side of the peasants. That is what he did. If that was a crime by breaking the order, then he was ready for the penalty that was due. The magistrate said that he needs some 2 hours time. After this 2 hours recess, the judgment will be, the verdict will be given. Okay? And within these 2 hours, Gandhiji should furnish a bell. He should furnish a bell for those 120 minutes he could go out of so that he could go out of the court. Gandhiji said he won't take any bell. So the British government was compelled to let him go without even taking bell. Once again, after 2 hours, when the court started again, the judge said that no verdict will be given for several days. Gandhiji, in meanwhile, was free to stay, was free, and he could leave, and he does not even need to take any bell. So this was the victory, the triumph of Gandhiji, the triumph of the common people, that the British authorities got frightened to give any verdict against Gandhiji. They said Gandhi was free to go, no verdict will be given against him, and the verdict will be given only after several days. Okay? So Gandhiji was very happy, the peasants were very happy, and it was proved that Gandhiji was indeed a ruler, and a ruler who deserved, you can say leader, not a ruler, but a leader who deserved to be a leader, had all the characteristics of being a leader. So he was allowed to go out of the court even without furnishing bail, and that was the triumph of truth. That was the triumph of Mahatma Gandhi and the farmers. Alright, this much only in this video.